I'm Dr. Vera and I have with me this week Rita-anne Fuss, and
Hi.
she is with Fifth Avenue Jewelry Collection. Pardon me. And welcome yet to another video, another episode of Wellness Wheel Wednesday. If you don't have an opportunity to watch the video, just remember to save it and then you can watch it later, and then share as much as possible this video in all your little groups and with your friends. And there is something in there.
Do you need water?
No, I'm going to just struggle through this.
Oh dear.
1 second. That has never happened. I'm sorry. Okay, so, and also if you have a comment for myself about chiropractic, or if you have a comment for Rita-anne, do put them in your little feeds and we'll get to those comments and certainly address them as we're chit-chatting. So we will eventually get to why Rita-anne is here, but first I just want to explain why the Wellness Wheel exists. So I've had over 16 years of experience being a chiropractor. And a lot of times, almost always, people come to a chiropractor because they're experiencing a pain. Neck pain, headaches, low back pain, whatever it may be. They're uncomfortable and it's now gotten to the point where they want to do something about it. So oftentimes people will think and want it to be something that they physically have done. So did they sleep wrong? Did they sit wrong? Did they bend wrong? What activity did they do wrong in order to make this pain so interfering in their activities of daily living? But it's not always something physical that they've done. There's different categories in our environment. So we are responding to physical things, but we're also responding to chemicals, and we are responding to emotions. So big emotions have the same ability to trip a stress response just as much as falling down the stairs. Stress is stress. Whether it's an emotional car accident or a real car accident, your body ultimately goes through a stress response. So let's talk a little bit about that stress response, because this is how the technique that I practice differs a little bit from maybe what you might be thinking a chiropractor does.
And I have to share, speaking
yeah.
of stress, I actually physically myself went through something that was a little traumatic, and I was a little bit scared, and I woke up the next morning and I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Called Dr. Vera and she got me in right away, and I'll tell you, it's such amazing what you do. So I have to thank you because it helped me immensely.
That's right.
And made a huge difference.
You're so welcome. It's always my pleasure, and it's very fun. So let's go to that stress response. So ultimately, when we're having a stress response, it has a lot to do with not so much the spine, which is again, chiropractors in the spine, but it's more about the way that the spinal cord is suspended in there. So that's just it. It's not dangling, it's suspended. So there's ligaments that's suspended at the top and at the bottom, and that creates just the right amount of mechanical tension. It's exactly the way a guitar works. If the guitar is tuned properly with the right mechanical tension at the top and at the bottom, boom, beautiful music. So let's say if you have a stress response. Now imagine a cat, when it's distressed, boom, arches its back. So that will create this hyper-reflexive flexion response. And immediately that increases the tension on the cord, and that's how we instantaneously know that we're in a stress response, because that change in mechanical tension changes the frequency of the nerves.
Like that flight or fight mode.
And it's instant. You know when we're in a stress response. So that's how your organs know, oh my goodness, we got to get out of here right now. Otherwise we're in trouble. So it begins to overdrive in the sympathetic nervous system. And that stress response is actually super great as long as we can eventually release it. If we can't release that stress response completely, we might stay a little stuck. And that's where the problems begin to happen. So if you stay a little stuck in a sympathetic response, it's like you're driving around the city with the gas pedal on everywhere and you're unable to access the brakes or the parasympathetic portion of the nervous system. It just leads to fatigue, it leads to overdrive, it feels to not feeling very good, aches and pains. So what your body does, it's like, ooh, I can't operate like that. It'll create some artificial curves postural faults as a way to try to recreate some of that tension. And those are the things that hurt. And those postural faults often drive people to the chiropractor, the physio, their medical doctor. So yeah,
that's where you come in.
Right. So we can address that high shoulder, the head forward, and certainly we're going to feel some joints that are stuck and muscles that are tight. But the technique that I use doesn't ask the question, doesn't address this problem right there. We go upriver a little bit and we talk to those ligaments that are suspending the cord. We actually are more that guitar tunist. So we tune that spinal, the tension on the cord in order to reestablish better mechanical tension. And then your body, in its wisdom, in its intelligence, realigns itself. So you feel better gently and you feel better longer. So if you're interested to know how this technique can impact you and your chronic or recurring back pain, then please do leave us a message and we'll be sure to get back to you and answer some of your questions.
And she has a gift. Truly, you really do.
But it just highlights to me that people have all this emotional stress, and it comes from various spheres in their life. So a very dominant sphere is the physical. So women in particular, we tend to value beauty. It's really one of the oldest business models out there, that women beautify themselves. We attract a mate, and men go out and get a deer and make fire, and it all just works so perfectly. So if women start to lose a bit of their sense of beauty, then it really can start to just spiral down. They don't feel good about themselves. Their confidence goes down, and then there's just this macabre, melancholy view of life, and they're not feeling very good. So that's why I've brought Rita-Anne here, is because it makes sense to me that even though you might be overweight, even though you don't feel good about yourself and all of these things are going wrong physically for you, what baby steps can you take in order to begin to bridge that gap? And I think now Rita-Anne can certainly speak to some of those baby steps.
Absolutely. Well, the biggest thing, I think that as women, or just anybody, we can be very hard on ourselves, and so we can often self-sabotage ourselves just in not feeling good about ourselves. And so self-talk, what we say to ourselves, is so huge. And after 29 years of being in Fifth Avenue Jewellery, I have to share how it's changed our life and just my life in feeling good. Because and just customers I have that they've told me personally, they've called me after they've purchased our jewelry for the first time, and they say, you know what, Rita-Anne, I got a compliment from a complete stranger on the street when I was walking down the street with my beautiful jewelry on. And I'm thinking, wow,
that's great,
such a good feeling, right? And so that's what jewelry does. Jewelry makes you feel good. And I have to share, because of course, with just a couple weeks ago, we were at the 30th anniversary for Fifth Avenue in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canadian company, celebrating the 30th anniversary, went up on stage and they presented me with the beautiful Rita-Anne. So this piece was actually named after me. So do you not think that I didn't feel good after receiving this?
Dynamite, it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. And I want to put some jewelry. Thank you. Well, it is the Rita-Anne. I want to put some jewelry on you though, just so that we can have some fun and do some dress up. Now this is a gorgeous piece here, and I love how when you just have to pull this tassel so you can make it as light, and it's got the little things there. And I wanted to put this gorgeous necklace on you. This is, well, pearls, right? Pearls are classic. And let's just see how it makes you feel once I put this jewelry on you and have a mirror. You can look in the mirror and see how beautiful that looks.
Oh, it's very nice.
Isn't that gorgeous?
It's pretty and it's flashy.
And how does it make you feel when I put the jewelry on you? Do you feel different?
It does, because my personality is one that it's not so what's the word?
You want more low key. You're low key. You're natural. You're a natural.
There we go.
Naturals like to wear very simple, delicate pieces.
That's right.
Not to stand out.
Right. But in its own, like an elegant piece that's practical. Also because I use my hands quite a bit.
Yes.
For me, it's very important that things don't interfere with.
So you wouldn't wear bracelets during the time you're working.
Correct.
Yes, for sure.
But it's I can certainly see how. And receiving a compliment and all these kinds of things are very beneficial because it changes your mood. Like right now I'm looking at it and it's, it makes my wrist
looks
nice.
Beautiful in the rose gold with the matching earrings, the simple logic earrings. Those are a classic.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what's so beautiful about jewelry is that it makes you feel good. And that's what I love about doing this. Maybe that's why I've been doing it as long as I have, because I love to feel good. And we make choices every day in our life. So when you wake up in the morning, make the choice to be happy, to put on a smile, and to just enjoy life. And because we can be so hard on ourselves, right? So it's changing that self-talk. Right. But not all of us can do that. So like you were saying, how you felt when you put that piece of jewelry on, you can look in the mirror and say, I am pretty. I do feel good in this.
This is, I can feel pretty in the moment as I'm working towards losing the weight, as I'm working towards getting healthier, whatever that physical stress is coming from. Jewelry, I think, is one of those things that you can really use. So this is
absolutely, and it's fun, right?
So I tend to not wear a lot of jewelry. Do you come across people who are like that?
All the time. All the time. And actually, there's been so many that I say, okay, you know what, just try this. Buy one piece. And they will go out and no word of a lie, they'll receive that compliment and they'll call me and they'll go, okay, maybe I'll buy a little bit more. But even the ones that don't like to wear a lot, they'll get it for gifts, right? Because gifts are always around the corner, whether it's birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's.
That's correct, because we've been highlighting a lot of women here, specifically thinking that women are interested in this.
But I think men can buy this jewelry too.
And help the wives or significant others feel good.
And that's like a bonus for the guys.
That's right. Happy wife, happy life.
Totally. Yeah. But thank you so much. And what's your business page called? Advanced Wellness
Lifestyle. We had to call it lifestyle because
that's what it's all about.
That's chiropractic.
But you know what? Lifestyle is true. This is what it's all about, is your lifestyle. So chiropractic goes hand in hand with jewelry because it makes you both feel good once you finish, your chiropractic.
Exactly. Which is why I love these wellness wheels, because it brings together two seemingly contradictory, or how does this work?
Yeah, it doesn't really go together.
Exactly. But it's one of those things that emotional stress is there, and Rita-anne can certainly help reduce some of that, especially if you're suffering with a physical meaning beauty.
And if you want to see more of the jewelry, go on my business page, Rita-anne's beautiful Fifth Avenue collection, or beautiful jewelry, and go on Dr. Vera's, because that's an important one too, because you can watch us again and again.
That's right.
And she goes live every Wednesday, so I think it's wonderful, and with different people. So
correct.
Who's next week?
Oh, then speaking of which, next week I do have with me Lorena Gregg, and she is with PEP. It's a organization that helps parents who have teens that are struggling with some addictions.
Parents Empowering Parents.
That's what it stands for.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Beautiful.
And that's a huge family.
You will not want to miss that one.
Correct.
Her story is incredible.
Yes. So stay tuned next week, and if you have any comments or would wish to reach out to Rita-anne, just let either of us know, and we'll certainly direct you. And don't forget to share this video, and we'll tune in next week. We'll see you then. Okay?
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Take care.